Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 25 with the Slothz team. Once again, a little event popping up that we've got to deal with for one of the team members, and we've got that ERS recovery, or ERS system that we're basically going to start researching, along with some drag reduction. This is the performance graph for anyone interested, with a comparison between Barnard and Martin's cars. So we're quite high up there, well above the rest of the midfield. We've got Aston Martin, Haas, look like they're topping up the rest of them there. Saudi Arabia, again, not very much time in between actually being dumped at this screen and racing, so no events that we can really take part in just yet. As we move straight into practice to harvest some more points, again, just going for the points, and then of course everything except durability upgrades, because durability upgrades are a bit boring, and who doesn't like a bit of late season drama as we go into the final few races with masses of penalties and try to fight our way back through the field. It's all good fun. Anyway, much like the previous video in Bahrain, we will be sticking at 90 difficulty here. I think we've hit the appropriate sweet spot for me personally at the moment, but I think I would like to try and get it at least 95 or 100 by the end of the season. But I think that's dependent at the moment on how quickly I can pick up getting back into this. Bahrain and Saudi Arabia wasn't particularly good. But I guess worked out quite well based on where the car should be. So, yeah, we'll see where we are in a few races' time, and I'll let you know if we get any upgrades on that. And speaking of upgrades, multiple failures there throughout those practice sessions. I think we're actually going to fail to get everything, so we'll go for the ones that we really want here. DRS apparently is a no on that attempt. And is a no on that attempt as well. It really doesn't want us to have this upgrade. It wants us to go for the durability upgrades, which we scroll straight past because we want this engine power one. And we do get that. So now, yep, the internal combustion engine, as I mistakenly mentioned in the last video, actually reached 80% or 70 or 80% wear by the start of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So we have switched it out. So then over to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. That new combustion engine is really going to help us out here in terms of picking up speed. Of course, our Ferrari power unit has given us quite a significant advantage on the fast circuits, and this is no exception, as we'll see in just a moment. And hopefully our teammate could do some good stuff here as well, as he picked up some points, or just a singular point in the last race. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell as well, so you know when all of these videos have been uploaded. And we'll get down to the starting grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And starting things off on the front row, we have... it's Charles Leclerc and Taylor Barnard. Like I said, look at that split time. We were very much appreciative of that new combustion engine, and it's placed us very highly. Then we have Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, Max Verstappen and Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri and Isaac Hadjar, Bortoletto and Oliver Behrman. Then Alex Albon, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Nico Hülkenberg. Then it's our teammate Victor Martins and Pierre Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson. Jack Doohan finally off the back of the grid, alongside Esteban Ocon, with Lance Stroll and Kimi Antonelli picking up the final positions. Now, I will be honest with you, I thought that my teammate was going to be doing a lot better during qualifying. In fact, in Q1, he actually placed inside the top 10 and was faster than me. So I was expecting him to be way up there, and then, of course, he had a very disappointing Q2. Perhaps he hit some traffic, or maybe the Q1 time was due to some slipstream that he picked up from somebody. But either way, he is going to be quite far back and potentially not scoring any points here. So we're going to have to be prepared to carry the team through this weekend. So let's get down to the circuit and get on with this race. So here we go then for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We're in the Ferrari sandwich as we get underway on the road down to turn 1. I'm not expecting too much here as it's a very narrow and tight corner, but we do have a look at the inside of Charles Leclerc, but slot in behind him. Of course, as I mentioned in the last video, new sponsors are on the car, and I've actually changed some of them for the more colourful variant, so we've got a bit more going on the car as well. I hope everybody enjoys seeing it as we go flying around the Saudi Arabian street circuit. Already a second behind Charles Leclerc as we struggle to warm up the tyres and actually have plenty of issues like we did in Bahrain with the downforce issues here. The rear end and likes to come out, especially on the exit of that hairpin and also in the corners following. This is on board with our teammate who started away down the order. Let's see how he got on. Following the two Williams. Got a Sauber up the inside of him here as he battles his way through the medley of the opening corner. And is he going to hold on to this here? He is on the same tyre as the Sauber, but I think he's going to slip up the inside. And unfortunately, Victor Martins drops a place. But it looks as though Hulkenberg was on a bit of a charge because Sainz is now behind him as well. But Victor Martins taking advantage in the run down to the hairpin. Will go around the outside of Carlos Sainz and take away P14 from him, and hopefully will put the speed of that car to good use and work his way a little bit higher up throughout the rest of the Grand Prix. And here he is now weaving all over the place. He's not drunk, it's a dry country, and maybe he snuck something in, who knows? Some French wine, perhaps. As he plows down the main straight. DRS for the Sauber is open as well, but it's not helping him out too much here as they go into turn 1 for a repeat of the opening lap. Martins again loses position to Nico Hulkenberg, unfortunately. He'll have to try again a bit later, perhaps on the next pass. On board with us, though, we have been chasing Leclerc since the start. We're on to lap 8 now, going to the outside. Can we make something of this? No, we have run too wide there into turn 1, and he is going to pull away once again. Really struggling here. Battery life is way down. We've got no grip whatsoever, and the tyres seem to be going off foil incredibly quickly. Look how far out wide we were there as we approach the DRS zone. We are just about hanging on here, and I think realistically Charles Leclerc is helping us stay where we are by giving us that DRS tow. He is going to come into the pit lane now, and we will take control of the lead. Hamilton also staying out, and this is Kimi Antonelli through the final corner. He's pulling over to the side of the circuit as a cluster of cars now try and pull into the pit lane. In fact, that could have very nearly been a safety car there. We've seen in previous F1 games how the cars entering the pit lane, had Antonelli been a little bit further ahead, would love to have crashed into him because they have absolutely no ability to avoid other cars when they're doing things like that. So now lap 9, Leclerc, where is he? Is behind Bortoleto right now, so hopefully the undercut is not very powerful here, and he also gets held up by the Sauber. Hamilton, though, has been closing in pretty rapidly, so we'll have to watch out for him as well. It looks like he's going to stay out and take control of the lead as we come in. Where do we fall in relation to Leclerc, though? Actually, looks like Victor Martins is having a battle with Hajar down the straight. We're going on to the hard tyre as well. Unlikely to make it to the end. We could try for the one stop. Leclerc has gone through, actually, and here comes our teammate as we come flying out of the pit lane. Not paying attention there as I go flying over the curb into the runoff. And now Hamilton is in. Where does he come out in relation to us? Here we come. And he has definitely lost time there. He was about 2 seconds behind us as we pitted earlier on. It's gone up to, well, it was more than 3. This is Martins anyway. Up the road, behind us actually, holding up the likes of Verstappen and Piastri. Piastri being quite consistent with getting on the podium so far this season. And Verstappen, of course, picked up his first win of the season last time out in Bahrain, but is stuck in traffic here as we see Tsunoda trying his best to get past our teammate. Verstappen and Piastri also trying to get past Jack Doohan there. Sorry, that's Hajar. As he peels into the pits finally. All 3 of them come in, releasing the McLaren and the Red Bull. And it didn't take long. Lewis Hamilton already catching up to us. We've still got over 10.5 laps to go. Massive slide there through the hairpin. You see what I mean now about how we've just got zero grip coming out of that corner. Maybe we're on the power too early. Maybe we're just carrying too much speed. Who knows? But at this point in the Grand Prix, everything is cautious. And maybe it's the hard tyre as well to some extent. But I'm driving so cautiously here. Charles Leclerc has a nearly 6-second lead over the pair of us right now. And Hamilton, all over the back of me, is going to make short work of us as we come through these multiple DRS zones. We cannot do anything to stop this. Oh my god, nearly crashes there as he slides past us and takes P2. We are going to get the DRS, so we are going to have a chance to come back at him now on the run down to turn 1. We have been charging the battery in preparation for this overtake to happen. And we're closing in here. Hamilton's going to go defensive, but we just don't have the speed. The Ferrari, using the same power unit as us, must be very similar on upgrades in terms of drag reduction or DRS upgrades. Puts it at a very equal playing field with us. As we see Charles Leclerc coming in. Hamilton's actually taken that 6-second gap down to 3 seconds. Leclerc, I guess, is hoping for an undercut here on Hamilton. And he will come in. We are in on lap 18. Hamilton still holds the lead. And we will be passed by Verstappen and Piastri. And presumably Leclerc as well, who is already right behind, or he was apparently right behind Piastri. There he goes. He has gone through. And we're going back onto the mediums because I don't think I could stomach the softs on this circuit. They are probably going to wear out incredibly quickly and make the rest of this race an absolute nightmare. But thankfully, we are ahead of George Russell, so we have secured P5. As we ride on board in the closing stages now, the end of lap 23, this is Piastri being chased down by Leclerc. Hamilton has stayed out and is a 7-second lead over Verstappen with 2 laps remaining, so it's very good for him. Leclerc refuses to go past Piastri in the DRS zone, coming down to the final corner. He's got 2 laps to try and get past Verstappen, who probably is quite doable here. We're miles off the pace right now. We're 7 seconds behind. We are catching up at this point in the Grand Prix. We were starting to burn through some of the battery and gain a little bit more confidence with the grippier rubber, but it wasn't enough, and we are still too far back to do anything. Charles Leclerc, on the other hand, within a second now, gets DRS on Verstappen. The 2 fighting here is going to bring the McLaren into contention as well. As Leclerc goes to the outside, there's debris on the circuit to watch out for. That was from an earlier incident of Pierre Gasly crashing into our teammate. Thankfully, Martins is still ahead of Gasly as Verstappen retakes the place down into turn 1, and we've got 1 more lap to go of these 3 battling for the second step of the podium. Lewis Hamilton so far ahead at this point. Only a breakdown on the final lap could ruin his day, and let's be real, it's probably not going to happen. So here we go then. We've come through the twisty sections. DRS detection zone has been passed. Is a move made towards this chicane. He's holding position. Piastri watching intently at what's going on. And here we go. Leclerc once again gets the DRS. If he stalls like he did going around Piastri, then he's going to have a problem, but he's going to go for it. He's going early. He is mostly past, and he nearly crashes into the wall there, but takes the position away, and he's just got to defend it now down the straight. Lewis Hamilton takes victory in Saudi Arabia, and it's going to be Charles Leclerc making it a Ferrari 1-2 for the first time in a while, and we will settle for P5. We're very comfortably in P5, miles off the 4 ahead of us, and George Russell quite significantly behind us. But again, not a bad result for where our car sits, and definitely a few identified areas for improvement. But yes, Lewis Hamilton, I think he was a world champion, an 8-time world champion on our F1 23 save. In fact, he may have been the last champion that was crowned on this channel. So he's going to be picking up another win here. Maybe we'll see some good things to come from him later in the season. And of course, the big news being Ferrari, well, not only with another podium, but another win and a 1-2 for the team. Verstappen, of course, rounding out the top 3. Concerning the rest of the order, Oscar Piastri did, of course, make 4th position, and we actually did retain the fastest lap of the race in P5 this time that we got during the closing stages, trying to catch the leaders. We were followed by George Russell, Lando Norris, Yuki Tsunoda, Isaac Hadjar, and Victor Martins again scoring points. Over to the Drivers' Championship, we are now just 6 points clear of Max Verstappen at the top of the table. We're followed by Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, Kimi Antonelli, and Pierre Gasly. Further down the order, we have Alex Albon, Isaac Hadjar joins the point scorers, Nico Hulkenberg, Victor Martins, again with another point score that round, and Fernando Alonso makes up the point scorers. Then we have Ollie Behrman, Esteban Ocon, Gabriel Bortoletto, Lance Stroll, Liam Lawson, Carlos Sainz, and Jack Doohan. And finally, we have the Constructors' Championship. Lots of changes going on here with that Ferrari 1-2 pushing Ferrari. 4 points clear at the top of the table ahead of McLaren. Red Bull dropped 2 places. We dropped all the way down to 4th. We're still 4 points behind Red Bull, though, so we're still within this fight. Then there's a big leap back to Mercedes, then Alpine, Williams, RB, Sauber, Aston Martin, and finally Haas are yet to score. That's all for this video. I'll catch you in the next one.